Hi everyone, I'm back again for session 4 of the Our City program. This is called Money Choices Make the City Go Round. So as always, make sure you have your junior journal pages. We will be using those today. You can either download that file, name it and save it, or you can print the document and keep it handy to write on. Okay, so I want to start with a quick review. Remember last time we talked about entrepreneurs, producers, and consumers. So if you remember, an entrepreneur is someone who starts their own business. So someone who has an idea to solve a problem in their community and they start their own business. We saw Justin from our Cha-Ching band last time. He started a few businesses, a lemonade stand, a lawn care company. So he had all sorts of businesses started. We also talked about producers. So a producer is someone who produces or makes a good or service. And we talked about consumers. So consumers are like customers. They are the ones who buy goods and services. So I want to look at this picture on the screen, and I want to see if we can find the producers and the consumers in this little scenario here. So you can see people are picking the grapes, and then grape juice or grape jam is being made on that conveyor belt. And then there's a truck being loaded with boxes. And then you can see over here, there's people at a table in what looks like a restaurant. So let's find where the producers are in this scenario. If we click this circle, we can see it says producer. So why would this be where the producers are? Because that's where the product is being made. It's being produced. So if we have grape juice or grape jelly being made, it's being produced. So all of this over here is that product being made. And then over here, we have the consumer. So once the product is made, it gets sent to the restaurant to be consumed by the customer. So the customer sits down at the table and they get that product. They buy that product and they consume it. So they're the consumer. So now let's talk about goods and services a little bit. So remember, a good is something that we buy that we can touch, take with us. So goods that I'm seeing in this scenario could be the grape juice or the grape jam being made. The grapes themselves, we can buy grapes at the store. That's a good. A good could be the food that these people are eating at the restaurant. A few services I'm seeing right here is a delivery service, right? So the restaurant pays for this service so they can get their grape juice delivered to the restaurant. That's a service. Going to a restaurant is also a service. So the food you're getting may be a good, but going to the restaurant, sitting down, getting waited on by a waiter is a service. You don't have to do it yourself. It's being done for you, which is technically the definition of what a service is. You're paying for something to be done for you. So remember the 4 choices of money: earn, save, spend, and donate, and that individuals do these 4 choices of money. So consumers, they earn money and then they spend money on goods and services that they need and want. And when people buy, businesses earn money and spend money to keep their businesses running. So not only do individuals practice all 4 choices of money, but businesses do as well. Businesses have to buy the things they need to make the goods and services they sell. For example, this business that makes grape juice, they have to buy the grapes, I'm sure, from somewhere. They have to pay for the service to get it delivered to the restaurant. So this money kind of goes round and round, from consumers and individuals to businesses, back to consumers. Everyone's earning, spending, saving, and donating. And then the government also needs money. So sometimes we forget that the government has to pay for things as well. And the government pays for things through taxes. So taxes can come from people's paychecks. There's business taxes, and then there's sales tax that we pay to the government. And the government uses that money from taxes to provide goods and services that the city needs to stay healthy and keep running. And we're going to talk about all the things that the government provides for us through taxes. These things include government buildings, roads that need to be repaired, fixing potholes, paying for things like police and firefighters and teachers and librarians. There's all sorts of things that the government pays for through our taxes. So I briefly just touched on the 4 choices of money: earn, save, spend, and donate. This is just a quick review, quick scenario. This says that you earned $5 for cleaning your room. What money choice are you going to decide on when you get that $5? So you've already earned the money. That's a money choice. You've done a job, you've earned money. Now you have to decide if you're going to save it, spend it, or donate it. Now, I hope that you will save it, at least save some of it. So when you earn some money, I want you to save some of it, whether it's for something specific, something special that you're saving for, or just in a savings account for something off in the future. If you want to drive a car someday or go to college, these are things that you can start saving for now. You want to spend some of it, maybe you want to go spend it on something fun or buy a gift for someone. That's always a good option. And then there's donate. So donating to people that are less fortunate than you. You can donate to an animal shelter, a food pantry, a homeless shelter. So many organizations you can donate to. So you don't have to pick just one money choice. You can pick more than one. Always remember that. You always have more than one option. You can save some, spend some, and donate some. Okay, so now we're going to watch, once again, our Cha-Ching band members. We have a video to watch. So let's get that going.
Wowee, Cha-Ching, performance of the night. What are you going to do with the prize money, huh?
It's been a really fun journey, and we now know what to do.
Price check, bank account.
Money, money, round and round.
Money box, drum kit fund.
Round, round, round goes money.
Shopping mall, check out.
Money, money, round and round.
Concert tickets, new CD.
Round, round, round goes money.
Now that you know what money can do. Go ahead and act on it, cause you thought it through. With just a few cents, so roll the money in the world. There's financial choice for every boy and every girl.
Yeah, when you get money, save some, spend, give a little back. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, when you get money, save some, spend, give a little back. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Earn it, save it, spend or donate it.
So next time you hold money, be considerate. Consider all your options, then decide its fate. Into your account or on a big old shopping spree. Consider carefully what you do with your money.
It's up to you what you do with your money. Yeah, when you get money, save some, spend, give a little back. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, when you get money, save some, spend, give a little back. Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's not a job, but choices is enlightening. We are excited for you and what these lessons may bring. Go ahead, be smart with your money. Whatever
Yeah, when you get money, save some, spend, give a little back. Yeah, when you get money, save some, spend, give a little back.
Gonna save up.
Into my money box, yeah. When you get money, save some, spend, give a little back.
I want to reach my target. Help charity out.
Yeah, when you get money, save some, spend, give a little back.
A donation.
Helping those in need. Yeah, when you get money, save some, spend, give a little back.
Consider carefully what you do with your money.
Yeah, when you get money, save some, spend, give a little back.
Okay, so in the video, it kind of went over what I just talked about. It's good to do all of the money choices. So when you get some money, spend a little, save a little, and you give a little back. So spend, save, and donate. So how do the band's money choices help keep their city active and alive? So we saw them do all sorts of things with their money. So spending money at businesses keeps those businesses open. It helps them pay their workers. It helps them pay for the things that they need to produce their goods and services. It helps them to provide the things that people need and want. They also donated their money to organizations. I saw that they were collecting money for a children's hospital. So these charitable organizations need help a lot of times, and they survive off of donations. So it's always good to donate to charitable organizations. So what would happen if people in a city did not spend money on goods and services? Jobs might be lost. So if you're not spending money at businesses, some of those people may lose their jobs. The business may close. Taxes couldn't be collected. So the city government couldn't pay for things that the city needs, like police and firefighters and libraries and public parks and to fix the roads. So overall, the economy in the city would suffer if people were not spending money on goods and services. So money is really important to a city, and taxes are a way that people who live in the city help the city thrive and stay active. And the government is responsible for using the taxes to run the city like a business. So if we think about the city as a business, it can make a lot more sense. So the city government needs to make money just like a business does. That's where taxes come in. So we pay taxes to pay the city government, so then they can give us the things that we need and want in the city. So taxes are fees charged by a government. And the government are groups of people who manage cities. So we pay for taxes through our paychecks. So someday when you get a job, you'll see taxes come out of your paycheck. We pay taxes through when we pay for things. So when we buy things, we pay a sales tax. So you can see taxes taken out of money you earn. So on your pay stub, when you look at your pay stub someday, it'll show all the money you've earned for working at your job, and it'll show the taxes that were taken out of that money earned that go to the government. And then here, taxes you pay for things you buy. So maybe you've seen this on a receipt, or you can ask someone at home for a receipt to look at. You will see sales tax added to what you paid for. So when you buy, let's see what they bought on here, a t-shirt, pants, and socks. So you have your total of just those, and then you have a sales tax, and then you have your total amount that you paid. So I'm going to give you a list of things that the government pays for using taxes. There's so, I mean, I could go on and on with the list, but these are a few things that maybe you never thought were paid for by taxes. Government buildings, public libraries, public schools, public roads and bridges, public pools, community centers, public parks, city workers like police, firefighters, teachers, librarians, maintenance workers, city planners, city services like public transportation, so a city bus or a subway, snow removal, public education, so when you guys go to school, sewer systems, trash pickup, recycling centers, 911 call centers, equipment like snowplows, mowers, and emergency vehicles, so fire trucks and police cars. These are all things that are paid for by taxes, and you probably have used a lot of them. So your teacher is paid, their salary is paid for by taxes. The school you go to, the library you go to, all of these things are paid for by taxes, and they're all things that we need in a city. Okay, so we're going to do an activity. We're going to go through 5 scenarios, and each scenario has 5 steps in it. that kind of connect to each other. So it's kind of like a story that we're telling. So on your junior journal pages, you are going to see the money choices in a grid. And each time a money choice is made, I want you to put a mark in that part of the grid so we can keep track of how many times each money choice is used. And we'll go through each step. We'll talk about which money choice it is so you know that you're marking the right grid. So while we're going through each step, each scenario, I want you to write a few things down in your junior journal as well. I want you to write down if you hear any government workers, goods, or services being mentioned. So these are things like a city bus or a firefighter or a teacher, all the things we just went through. If you think you hear a government city worker or good or service being used, write it down and we'll go over it at the end. Write down any ways you hear tax money being used for the city. So anytime money's being used for the city through taxes, write it down. Make note of any goods or services that are being bought or sold or used. So we talked about goods are things that you buy that you can touch and take with you. Services are things that are done for you. And then I want you to write ideas down about what happens if the city taxes aren't paid. So all of these, you're going to hear all of these scenarios. I want you to think about what will happen if taxes aren't paid, what these scenarios might look like. Okay, and again, we'll go through the answers at the end so you can write down and add to your list. So here's scenario 1. So what we're going to do right now, though, is we're just going to go through and decide which money choice each scenario and each step is representing. So remember, the money choices are earn, save, spend, and donate. So let's do number 1. I have yard work to do, but since I hurt my ankle, I can't do it. I pay my neighbor to do some of my yard work. So then we have to decide which money choice that is. And this is when you mark your grid in the correct spot for the correct money choice. So the money choice for this would be spend, because you're paying your neighbor to do something. The next step is I am the neighbor. I get paid for my hard work. You're getting paid. That money choice is earn. I walk to the bank and deposit my money into my account. I'm saving for something like the cha-ching kids. Save. That money choice is save. I'm the bank teller. I deposit people's money into their accounts. After work, I'm going to the public library. I pay $2 to take the city bus to the library. I know fees and tax dollars pay for government services like buses and libraries. So let's first look at the money choice, which is spend. And this is where you can start to see some of the government goods and services that are listed. So we have a public library, that's a government service. We have the city bus is a service. These are a couple of things that you can start to write down. I am the librarian. I work at the public library, which is paid for by taxes. I have been saving my money so that I can go to a cha-ching concert. I will buy a ticket today. So the librarian's been saving money, but now they're going to spend it. So that money choice is spend. And last, I am the band manager for cha-ching. The band wants to give back to the city for a great concert. I am giving some profits to a charity. Giving to a charity, that money choice is donate. All right, so that was the first scenario. So the next 4 scenarios are going to be just like that. So we'll go through each one of these and you're going to keep marking on your grid what money choice you see. I am the band manager for cha-ching. I pay a recording studio to record a new album. So this money choice would be spend. And remember, if you see any goods or services being used or bought, write that down too. So if you're paying a recording studio, that's considered a service. So you can write that down. I am the recording studio owner. I pay the sound engineer for working with the band. That's also spend. I am the sound engineer. I receive pay for my work. So if you're getting paid, you are earning money. I take my paycheck to the bank and deposit it into my account. So remember that deposit means you're putting money into your account. So that money choice would be save. I am the bank teller. I deposit the money into the correct account. After work, I drive over a bridge to go home. I pay a toll to cross the bridge. Fees and taxes support bridges and roads. So she's paying the toll, which is spend. And then remember, we can see some of the government goods and services, such as bridges and a toll booth, and the person who works at the toll booth. I work for the Public Works Department. After a long day of paving roads and fixing potholes, I walk home. On my way, I pass Girl Scouts selling cookies. Instead of buying cookies, I give them $2 from my wallet to support their activities. So that would be donate. He didn't buy cookies, but he donated $2. All right, scenario 3. I am a hairstylist. I pay a fee to renew my haircutting license. The money goes to the city government to help pay for city services. That would be spend. I am the city bookkeeper. I collect fees and taxes. I use that money to pay the city workers like the road engineer. So there's a city worker, a road engineer, 2 city workers, city bookkeeper and a road engineer. And that money choice is earn. I'm sorry, that money choice is spend. Spend. I am the road engineer. I received my paycheck today for helping design a new bridge. So this money choice would be earn because he received a paycheck. I take my paycheck to the bank and deposit it into my account. So remember, deposit means putting it into your account. So that would be save. I'm the bank teller. I deposit money into people's accounts. When I get home, I buy some music from my favorite band, Cha-Ching. So the bank teller is buying something, that would be spend. And last, I am the band manager for Cha-Ching. The band gives money to the local school so that students can get some new instruments. So that would be donate. The band manager has donated money to the local school. And let's keep in mind goods and services. Instruments, those are a good, something we buy that we can touch. All right, here's scenario number 4. First one, I am the band manager. Cha-Ching is giving a concert downtown. I convinced the band members to give some concert profits to the food pantry to help people who don't have enough food to eat each day. That would be donate. I am the director of the food pantry. The city government helps pay to run the food pantry using money from taxes. After stocking the shelves with the food donations that came in today, I drive to the bookstore and buy a few books to read. So that would be spend, buying a few books to read. City government helps pay to run the food pantry. So that means the director of the food pantry would be a city worker. I am the cashier at the bookstore. I get paid $35 for a day's work. That would be earn. On payday, I deposit my money in the bank. I want to buy a wonderful present for my parents, but I don't have enough money yet. So for right now, this would be the money choice, save. Now, when they go to buy the present, that would be spend. But this money choice is save. I am the parent. I go to the motor vehicles department and pay a fee to get my driver's license. Like my tax money, my driver's license fee goes to the government. Taxes and fees help pay for city services like the fire department and the police. So the parent has spent money. So the money choice is spend. And there's lots of government services in here. So fire department and police, motor vehicles department, getting your driver's license. That's a government service. And last, I am a firefighter. I know how important fire trucks are. So I give money to the fire station. The fire department is collecting money to buy a new fire truck. So that would be donate. Firefighter has donated money to the fire station. Okay, this is our last one, scenario 5. I am eating lunch at a restaurant with my friend. We just came from the Cha-Ching concert. It was awesome. We pay for our food. That would be spend. I'm the restaurant owner. Once a year, I give money to the Children's Hospital to help treat children whose families don't have enough money for medical care. So that one would be donate. I'm the doctor at the Children's Hospital. After work each day, I pay $5 to take the subway home. Fees and tax dollars help pay for the subway system and other city services like trash collection, parks, and teachers. So that give you a lot of government services. So what money choice would this be? This would be spend, because the doctor paid $5. I'm the teacher. Every Friday night, I take my family to the movies. So that money choice would be spend. I'm the movie ticket salesperson. I get paid $35 for a day's work. That would be earn, getting paid to do your job. And the last one, I take my paycheck to the bank and deposit it into my bank account. So again, putting it into your bank account means that you are saving it. Oh, and we have one more scenario. I thought there were 5. There are 6. So let's do the last one. This is the last one, I promise. Okay, so let's get started. I am a restaurant owner. I hire my favorite band Cha-Ching to bring in more customers. This would be spend. I am the band manager for Cha-Ching. I buy new outfits for the band members from the clothing store at the mall. This would also be spend. And we can also think about the good that the band manager is buying. So the outfits or the clothing is a good. I'm the clothing store worker. I get my paycheck every week. That money choice would be earn. Each week, I deposit my money into my bank account. Again, putting money into your bank account. I want to buy a bike, but I don't have enough money yet. Until then, I will have to take the city bus, which is free for students since tax dollars help keep buses running in the city. So this would be save. I'm the bus driver. I really like animals. Once a month, I give $10 to the animal shelter. That money choice would be donate. And last one, I'm the vet. I take care of cats and dogs in the shelter. Once a week, I go to my favorite restaurant. I hear that this week Cha-Ching will be playing. I may buy dessert. This would be spend. You're spending money at the restaurant. And that is the last scenario. So now I want to go through a review of what I had asked you guys to take some notes on. I know that was a lot, so we're just going to go through each of these questions and kind of talk about the government goods and services, tax money, and goods and services that were bought or used. So the first question, what types of government workers, goods, or services were mentioned? So I hope you at least got a few written down, but here are all the ones that I have written down. So government workers, we have the bridge toll booth operator, public works worker, bookkeeper, road engineer, food pantry director, firefighter, teacher, bus driver, librarian. Those were a lot of the government workers that were mentioned. Government goods and services that were mentioned. Fire trucks, bridges and roads, public libraries, subway system, trash collection, city bus, driver's licenses, and public parks. These are all the goods and services that were mentioned throughout those scenarios. And again, these are all things that are paid for with our tax money. So there's so many things that our tax money goes towards. So that brings us to the next question. What were some ways tax money was used for the city? So here's what I wrote down. Public transportation, so the city bus and the subway. Public libraries, road and bridge repair, road construction, licenses. So we saw driver's licenses and the hairstylist license, and the food pantry. All right, so what goods or services were bought or used? So some goods that I saw were bought or used included concert tickets, Girl Scout cookies, music downloads, instruments, books, clothing, a bike, and food. These are all goods. Services that were mentioned include lawn care, the recording studio, banking, so going to the bank is a service, restaurants, hospital, doctor, movies, and the vet. These are all services. So they all provide things that are done for you that you pay for. And the last question, what might happen if the city taxes aren't paid? So if city taxes aren't paid, the city cannot thrive. So the city can't provide support and help to people in need or provide education. It can't offer services such as transportation, libraries, licenses, road repair, police and firefighters. These are things that we rely on that we may not even think about. But think about if we didn't have these things. Where would we be if we didn't have our police or firefighters? Where would we be if we didn't have our teachers or our libraries? So the city would be able to keep us safe and help us stay healthy if we weren't paying taxes. So a balance of money choices keeps a city active and healthy. So doing all the money choices. So earning money through jobs, spending money at businesses and through taxes, saving some money for emergencies and things that we need and want in the future, donating money to charities that need those donations to keep running and to help people that may not have the things that all of us have or that need some extra help. Cities are businesses that need money to keep a city running smoothly. So remember, think of a city and the government as a business. So they get paid through taxes and then they can spend that money on things that we need and want, such as transportation and schools and libraries and police and firefighters. Taxes pay the city government to pay for city goods and services. So we went through so many goods and services that the city provides for us through our taxes. So next time you use go to the public library or see your teacher, think about how that stuff was paid for through taxes. So we have sales tax, we have taxes that come out of our paychecks, business taxes. There's different kinds of taxes that are used to pay for these things. All right, so on your junior journal pages, you can do the word scramble and the session for vocabulary. And then as always, there is some fun for home. So you can watch the Saving for Success video here and answer the following questions. How does Cha-Ching earn money? And where does the money come from? So that's the end of session 4. We are almost done with this program. There's one more session left, and I will see you again for session number 5. Bye.